It's time for show and begins in 3, 2, 1. Whoops, volume. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
This must be King Ding Dong's castle. Look at all those ding dongs.
Have one.
Thanks, King Ding Dong. Cream filling, too.
Just let me know where you really need it.
That's my kidneys.
The morning stream. I must break you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for the 18th of July, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson. Brian Nibbett is here as well, as always.
Hello, as all. I'm here as all.
Yep. I meant to say as always and
yeah.
as well.
As well. Brian is here as well.
Yeah, and what came out was wrong.
Sure. Hey, it happens.
It happens. Welcome, everybody. It's a Thursday. We're glad to be back. However, today's a little short. No windy today. About an hour of fun. Mm-hmm. So welcome to the show. I have a thing.
I like to call it a compressed, like you're getting all the fun of TMS compressed into 1 hour. Like
That's right.
Like
That's right.
It's yeah, it's like one of those, those small strawberries, and you eat it, and it's like, oh my God, this has more flavor than one of those big stupid strawberries.
Yeah.
All that flavor's compressed into that little tiny.
I like the idea of a big stupid strawberry.
Big stupid strawberry. You know those big stupid strawberries that aren't even strawberry shaped anymore? They're like almost like two strawberries been stretched out, and there's like a thing between them, like a wall between them.
Yeah.
And they have no flavor. They're all, they're red.
Yeah, those are like proof that they're way over processed and grown funny, right? Because nobody in their like proper garden is pooping out two-sided strawberries with no taste. What the hell is that about?
Exactly. Yeah.
Two-headed
What's
strawberries.
the point? If I want the flavor. I want the strawberry flavor. I don't want all the effort of having to have like 3 bites to finish a strawberry that doesn't taste as good as a 1-bite little mini strawberry.
That's right. And look, I'll say this about if you're missing Wendy today. Here's just a taste of Wendy. All right.
The assumption is porn is woo.
All right, porn. Here's another one. Don't know what this one is.
Orange-based chippery.
Orange-based chippery. All
Excellent.
Right. How about this
Cat
one?
and chicken
Oh
porn.
hell no!
Oh hell no, she says. Here's a good one.
All kids are little cheating, sneaky little butts.
Yeah.
She was gonna say something a lot worse there twice.
You can tell
both times she was gonna say.
She had both sneaky and butts were almost something very different. Well, hey everybody, we're back. Brian, look, sometimes, let's put it this way.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
That's the best way of saying it. I mean, you mentioned it yesterday, but No Man's Sky put out this huge update, and that was enough to get both of us suckered into downloading it and playing it again, or at least I got it downloaded. You actually played it.
I actually played it, and I was like, this morning, I'm like, so I got it downloaded yesterday. During a conference call with a client, I just had it, updating the background, and this conference call over Zoom. She decided to eat macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
Do you mind if I finish my lunch while we're meeting? I'm like, and I really want to say, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I do mind a lot.
Call me back in 20 minutes. And I should have done that because it was basically like my Zoom screen is down here in the bottom corner. That's where you are right now.
Yeah.
Chat is right above it right there.
Right.
You're right down there.
Right.
And it was basically like every time I'd look over in that corner, she's shoving macaroni and cheese in her mouth, and I'm like, I just can't look at you when you're doing that. I'll happy to talk to you about your website, but I just can't look at you. And it's in a plastic Tupperware, and it's really close to the microphone. She's on a laptop.
Yeah.
So I hear of the fork hitting the sides of the plastic the whole time, and
oh my gosh. Ew, and it's macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it wasn't Zoom. It was Microsoft Teams, but it was in the same location.
Sure.
Yeah, and so I was like, all right, how quickly can we be done with this call?
No, if you've got a thing with hearing people eat when you're on a call or whatever, mac and cheese has to be the worst.
And Amy's saying, just turn the camera off. Totally could have done that. It's less about the camera. The camera is one thing. I can get away from that. I cannot look at the camera or look at the screen. Oh, turn the camera off. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Like not me turn my screen off. Yeah, but the sound, you can't get away from the sound. It's like, I need to be able to hear what you need done to your site, but I don't want to hear you consuming a box of Kraft. Thanks.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That even I don't have quite the sensitivity to it that Brian does, but if you're eating mac and cheese, and I'm on a call with you, you may as well. You'll give me the phobia by doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. Was it misophonia? I mean, poor Scott. You've been at the Brent end of like, hey Scott, you eating a sandwich? Like we're doing couch party or something, and neither of us are on camera.
And all it takes, by the way, with Brian is like if I eat like one corn nut, Brian, he knows.
And
he notices.
Yeah. I hear it, and I'm like, finishing your lunch there.
So I recommend. I'm going to make this recommendation: do not eat food while talking to Brian. Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. I mean, I'll go out and have a meal with you. Like, we go to a restaurant. Tadpoolers come to town all the time, and if they have time and I have time and works out, then we'll go and get food together all the time. But boy, I said time like 18 times.
A lot of times. Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
So if we're at a meal, totally works, totally good, right? But don't talk with your mouth full and don't chew with your mouth open.
Mm-mm.
Those two things again that I cannot. The dude does not abide by either of that.
It's just the thing, and it's fine, and I respect it. I think yes. We've all got our things. Oh, you know what I was going to ask you is, and I think maybe I've asked you before, but it was on Film Sack or something. But so you can answer it again. You're watching a movie like I don't know, whatever, and there's like 5 people at a table. And the main character's half a mouthful of sandwich, and they start talking. Does that bug you even in that scenario, or is it different?
No, not usually, because I think because it's. I mean, it would bother me if I were also a character in that movie or around that table.
Sure.
I don't know why it is. It's like, okay, well, that's obviously a character choice that the character is, Busey is eating that meatball sub that he got from Johnny Utah, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like the breakfast.
Hey,
the breakfast they're having in Reservoir Dogs. Probably a little annoying. There's a lot of eating.
Probably a little annoying, and I don't know if Buscemi is talking about if he's got food in his mouth, if he's got half a pancake in his mouth when he's talking about the real meaning of Material Girl. No, Like a Virgin.
Like a Virgin. That's it. Oh man, that movie left a mark on me.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything else. So yeah, downloaded the update to No Man's Sky during that call. But didn't have time to jump in and start playing it until this morning. I'm like, all right, well, I've got music all queued up for the show. I've got all the other prep. I'll check email and then I'll play maybe half an hour of No Man's Sky. And 90 minutes later, it's 30 minutes to showtime. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is exactly what I expected from No Man's Sky. And I initially launched my save, 44-hour saved game. And I'm on a space station, and it's like, okay, go hire an armorer, and then go do this, and then go explore the center core of the galaxy. And I'm like, oh, I forgot how to do any of this crap. All right, I'm starting a new game because there's a little bit of tutorial mode that I need.
Yeah, that happens when you go a long time. Plus, if you appeared in a station, the station's got a complete overhaul. They're all different.
It does. Yeah, like I'm used to the station having the kind of the runway in the middle, and then 2 big stairs on the sides, and then all the stuff is on either side of the runway and those 2 high platforms. Now you go up there and there's like a food court with a whole bunch of dudes walking around in it, kind of on the middle level. And I don't know what's going on the top level. It just looks like I'm accessing storage containers.
And they're way less, like the stations are way less the same. So if you go to another one, you're not going to see the same layout either. You're gonna see
really? Oh, that's
stuff.
cool. Yeah. Good. All right.
They added that a few updates, or maybe 1 or 2 updates ago, and it was kind of jarring. I was like, wait a minute. The one thing that this game was never going to change, it felt like, was this hallway to land in, turn around, go up the thing. Yes. There's this guy selling on this side, and these guys over here got quest business.
Right, exactly.
Instead, it was like, holy shit. Yeah.
Interloper.
Hello, interloper.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you're like, and then this thing changes. You're like, wait a minute, I'm on like this is like Cloud City over here, and now this one over here feels like Tatooine. It was like this crazy change.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I did, start over and start on my planet, and I immediately noticed like, oh, this just looks richer environment, feels more just more beautiful. Like I don't think they increased the depth, like how far you can see, but there were times there was like a storm coming in, and you're getting water effects on the lens or on your view and stuff like that. Yep. And it's just, I love it.
Well,
it's just so.
Here's what's interesting is I theorized this yesterday, but their new game coming out at some point called Light No Fire. It's another great big thing, but it's more fantasy based. You're on a single planet, doing stuff. It looks really neat, but I theorized yesterday that some of the stuff, the changes to the environments of the planets, may be them rolling some of that tech back to No Man's Sky. And I heard an interview yesterday with the founder of the company, and sure enough, Sean Murray said, "Yeah, it's exactly what we're doing. we're taking some breaking cool stuff in the new game.
We've already innovated for the new game, and we're just going to kind of."
Yeah, they're
build
rolling
it in.
it back.
It's not even shoehorned. I mean, it just feels like it's got this layer of polish and
yeah, that's awesome. So well done,
really
guys.
awesome.
I can't believe they started by making Joe Danger. Look at them now.
Is that really? That was Hello Games' first game was Joe Danger?
Their first two games were Joe Danger and Joe Danger 2, then No Man's Sky. And then they did that Last Campfire, that little game. I don't know if you remember that. That was an awesome little game. And then Light No Fire is their next big thing. So
wow. And do they have a date release date for that?
TBA it says. So
okay, all right. You know what? That's fine. I'm not in any hurry. I'm hooked back into Astroneer Deluxe, and I'm going to be playing this one for a while. So.
Yeah. What else?
And I'm sure about the time I finish this Astroneer 2.0, there'll be a new we've completely re-innovated the Astroneer game, and there's a whole new game there too.
Yeah.
So.
What's crazy is No Man's Sky feels like a game that 300-400 people make.
Yeah.
It's like when they started anyway, it was 4 people.
Get out, really?
4 people making that
when
game.
you said that, I would it feels like a game that 100 people or 200 people made. I was expecting you to say no, just 50 people involved with this, or like 12 people.
Yeah. So here's what's crazy. Now they've got this other game going. They've had other stuff in between. The 4 guys are still there. All the 4 co-founders, and they're the ones that started it, and we're working on it at the beginning. They now have 45 employees, still not quite 50 all these years later. You'd think they would be, whatever. They had, let's see, their total equity is something like $140 million or something. They're doing good. I love these guys.
Wow.
They're like the fairy tale version of fixing a thing and making it right. I love it. Well, anyway, I'll be playing more of that later. Hopefully, maybe this weekend I'll take it on the Steam Deck when I escape with my wife.
There you go. Oh, she'll love that. Let's take Scott away for a nice little vacation, getaway, and hold on, hon. Got to play some No Man's Sky. Oh, you know what? I probably should be streaming this, so let me hook up a.
Let me get some remote streaming going, and let's pretend I never left home.
You go out and get something to eat, hon. I'll stay right here in the hotel room and play.
Well, I'll have to check with each other's progress. That game's rad. It's fun to get in again.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see. Yeah, let's see where we're at on Tuesday when we reconvene.
Indeed. Got a couple of calls to play. One is a correction for half-asses, and I'll let it speak for itself. Here you go.
Hi, this is Darcy calling from Phoenix. I was just listening to episode 2675, Alarm Diaper episode, that title. And on the half-asses segment, you had a question that had to do with anatomy, and one of the answers was the word duodenum, which Brian pronounced duodenum. And I'm an x-ray tech, and I've heard that word a lot, and I'm here to tell you it's duodenum, not duodenum. It's like pronouncing thermometer, thermometer. Anyway,
Wait. That's not how you're supposed to pronounce thermometer?
I know. This whole time I've been confused about thermometers. And
now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
This guy says, right after that episode, Dr. Tolbert chimed in on our little group chat that we have with Jerry and Dan Patrice, and said, he explained what the duodenum or duodenum or whatever And I'll explain that in a second.
Right.
He says it's the first 12 inches of the small intestine as it leaves the stomach. It's also the part of the small intestine where the ducts from the gallbladder, liver, and pancreas squirt their digestive juices.
Ooh, squirt.
Digestive juices. And then I replied, and I said, oh, and I just realized it's pronounced duodenum, right?
Yeah.
And he says, duodenum, or duodenum.
Duodenum is what he said, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Duo equals 2, and denum is a weird Latin, or denim is declension for 10. But you'll hear 5 different pronunciations even among doctors. I use our best guess at actual Latin, but it was dead before I was born. Haha. But yeah, so house. He says, yeah, I've heard house and ER call it the duodenum. The duodenum, whatever. It's a weird word based on a dead language. Say it how you want.
Yeah, it feels like one of those,
So there
maybe
you
a little bit of looseness to it.
So
Here's how OpenMD says it.
Duodenum.
oh yeah,
They say duodenum.
Duodenum.
duodenum, which is that is what Dr. Jerry said. So
Yeah.
there you go, duodenum.
Yeah, which is different than our dude, which is different than what Brian said. So what I take from this is everybody should say whatever they want. We know what you're talking about, you know?
That's right. Exactly. So duodenum.
Yeah, but I also love that because the thermometer thing made me laugh so nicely.
Thermometer is
done.
great. Yeah. When I was 6th grade, we were. This was let's see. I was in Foster Elementary School, and we were doing like this thing in
Foster. Oh,
English.
Foster's the name of the school.
Foster's the name. Yeah, I wasn't in Foster School.
Okay, I was like, what does that mean exactly? All right,
I
get it.
know it was such a dumb name, named after somebody named Foster. What a dumbass. Anyway, we were taking turns reading in class, and we were each taking a paragraph, and I got one, and I was reading it out loud, like basically it's like where you read out loud, and I got to a word that I wasn't sure I knew. I'd known the word because of reading. I knew what it meant, and
Sure.
I don't think I ever said it out loud, and I pronounced it ignorant.
Ah, ignorant.
Ignorant.
I like that.
And the teacher just goes, ignorant. To this day, anytime I see that word, it's like he was both correcting me and insulting me at the same time.
That's amazing. You can do that. All you have to say is the word, and the tone is, if you say it in the right tone, it is it's both an insult and a correction.
Right. Exactly. It's a correction and an insult.
I love that.
Ignorant.
You
Oh, yeah,
can't
that's
even-
right. Icor reminds me. By the way, happy birthday! Isn't it Icor's birthday?
Oh,
today or
is
no?
it? Is it? I don't know. Is it?
Is it your birthday today, Icor?
Well,
Maybe not.
we should
Oh
celebrate.
no, maybe no. It's not Icor's. I saw Kevin's birthday today. Who's Kevin? Which Kevin's?
Is it KT Data's birthday?
Oh, maybe it's KT Data's birthday.
Because he's Kevin.
Yeah.
He's Kevin.
All right.
He's Kevin the Data.
Yeah. Kevin Tech, right?
Yeah, Kevin. Did I miss that?
I think we both missed it.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I wished him happy birthday on Facebook, if that's something.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah,
I
it
need to
reminds
do
me, Yosemite, I pronounced Yosemite as a kid, and the name of the hotel, as I described it to my mom and my uncle on a road trip, was the Ramada Inn.
The Ramada Inn. Ramada Inn.
Ramada Inn. Let's go stay at the Ramada Inn.
That's amazing. Yeah, I got a million words like this, but I'll tell you what, the duo, what is it now? Duodenum?
Duodenum.
There it is. That's, I will never forget.
Duodenomyers.
You also can't say ignorant without me thinking immediately of South Park and the Michael Jackson episode where he kept going, that's ignorant, that's ignorant, that's ignorant. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's just in my head. You say the word ignorant, that's all I think of. Just immediately think of that South Park episode. We also got a call about that anchor I got yesterday. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh, you got an anchor?
Yeah, remember the
Oh, the Anchor, ANCHOR.
Yeah, sorry, I spelled it wrong.
Yes, you spelled it like the company that sells every battery charger known to man.
Yeah, this is definitely not something they made, but this guy made it, and I didn't know that. I wasn't sure what this was about. Oh shit! Oh, it's over there
it's
now. I'll
gone
get
now.
it. And I'll get it in a minute.
Yep.
Anyway, the whole point of pulling that out and showing
You
everybody.
dropped Anchor.
I did drop anchor, and it's way over there. All right, well, whatever.
Wow.
Here's his call about that.
Hey, Scott, this is Brent who sent that box with the metal anchor and the Immortan Joe mask. That was fun to make. Thank you for the accolades on that. I hope you're able to do anything with it. The metal anchor, I didn't put a note about that because it was sort of a last-minute ad. some years ago, before you concluded the Instance podcast, I had actually cast a few Jana Proudmoore anchors for some folks, and I had an extra I was going to send you, and I just forgot about it until just now when I sent that box. So that's all that is a Jana Proudmoore family anchor, and I don't know what you do with that. Anyway, thanks a lot, and love the show. Bye.
Are you kidding? I'll tell you what I do with it. I take it way more seriously, and not that I wasn't taking it seriously, but like this is way more meaningful now because I'm a giant Jaina fan. I love that idea, and the fact that you made it makes it even cooler. I will treasure this. Okay,
it's very, very cool, and it's a little miniature grappling hook for Phoebe.
Yeah, exactly. I can keep her. Hey, come here.
Exactly.
I love that
idea. Pull her way up to the countertop to get a cookie.
Why not? But I'll tell you what. It doesn't seem like I treasure it when I throw it halfway across the room.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Although it didn't bend or do anything, so we're good.
No, it looks pretty solid. Is that pewter? Do you think?
Actually, if I had to guess, I'd say this was pewter. He didn't say.
Yeah.
It has the consistency of like a pewter figurine.
That's really cool.
That you used to order on TV when they would say, the complete pewter set of whatever.
I think of old D&D minis, the ones that they actually produced, and you could get a box that had a few D&D minis, and they were all pewter, and they all bent really easily. Like, I want to put his sword up here. Oh, his whole arm came off. Okay, well, that was good.
Very pliable metal.
Yes.
So and this doesn't feel very pliable, so I don't know what this is. But.
Okay, it's probably the one thing that I could I could make casts. Like I could cast something in or print something 3D and then make a mold from that then I could forge in pewter. I think pewter is probably the only metal I could very easily work with casting things.
That is a cool idea. I assume that's a thing where you 3D print as your basis for your molds. That makes sense.
Yeah. You don't 3D print the molds because they'll melt in the heat. But you, I think, can do like a silicon. Like you basically 3D print the thing you want, then make a silicon mold. And then pewter probably would melt the silicon.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But you do whatever. What do they do for even Bill talked about pewter molds once. I don't remember what he did.
And I think it was like a not concrete, but like a cast, like a ceramic. I think that would be it, like a ceramic.
Something that hardens up and is impervious to metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Molten
casting
metal.
Sand says TRPW. Okay, that would. Make sense.
Casting sand. Yeah. That's what I do when I go to the beach and throw it in people's faces. I cast sand.
Yeah, sand casting.
Yeah.
Sure. It's like I was going to do a Dune podcast, and I was going to call it the Sandcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also Final Fantasy XIV's newest ranged DPS class is a sandcaster. So
every episode of Sandcast I open with.
Oh, man.
That's for the real nerds right there.
That is. When I was a kid, something funny about sand people.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when he does the and holds the stick above his head, I knew
dental appliance, that giant dental appliance.
Yeah. I knew at 7 or 8 years old, as much as I would know now as a full-grown adult, I knew what I was seeing was forward film and then backwards film. So that scene is one of those film tricks where to get a little more length out of it, George Lucas has them reverse it. And I knew then what I was seeing.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I can't see that scene without immediately just going reverse film. Like I just can't. It takes me out of it, and I knew at 8 years old that was a thing, and that I was distracted by it. And I don't know why. I'm sure nobody else feels this way, but I had a weird thing with that. Weird relationship with the sand person and his reverse film. It bugged me.
He's a time manipulator. The sand people are time manipulators.
Bastards. They're not just dirty and sandy.
That's right.
All right, let's get to the news of the day. We have a bit of news to discuss, and we're going to do it right now with this. Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's the news, and it's brought to you by
It's brought to you by Coverville today at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville. I'll be playing some Marvel Snap, but I'll be dreaming of No Man's Sky. I just don't want to take the time to hook all that up. Plus, I'm still having fun with Marvel Snap. No reason to change that. But hey, let's talk about the actual show, the actual Coverville episode. Scott, do you know what Kiss from a Rose by Seal, Owner of a Lonely Heart by Yes, Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles all have in common?
Oh, well, other than I like everything you've said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, what would they have in common?
I'll even throw in...
Oh, I'll bet significant MTV things. Like,
oh, right. That would be smart, right? Because Video Killed the Radio Star was the very first music video.
Yeah.
Relax, I think at the time was maybe the longest video, or no, it was
something like
probably
that.
Was banned, or they could only play it after hours or something. No, actually, these are all songs that were produced by a guy named Trevor Horn. Trevor Horn, remember, he's one half of the Buggles. And then he was a member of Yes during that album, that 90125 album, but also produced The Art of Noise, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Seal, that first song by Seal, Crazy, one of the first songs by Seal that we heard, Crazy, produced by Trevor Horn. And he is turning 75 this week, and so let's celebrate by listening to covers of all of those hits. The dude is amazing. I read his autobiography last year, and God, it's fascinating. Like the life he's had and the involvement across so many different genres, not just new wave and rock and roll, but he worked with Leanne Rimes, did some country stuff, worked with those two Russian, are they lesbians? Tattoo, all the things she said, and that song, No, What, They're Not Gonna Get Us, or
Sure.
Not gonna get us. They're not gonna get us.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Trevor Horn, celebrating Trevor Horn on today's Coverville at 12 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
I found that guy in the, check him out in 1984. This is the most music producer-ass looking photo. I love this.
Is he rocking his little circular glasses?
Oh, I'm in the wrong group. Hold on.
Yeah.
I just sent that to Tolbert.
You sent it to Tolbert and Geek Jock,
yeah. Oops.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yep. And I think that's a Frankie Goes to Hollywood shirt, right?
It is, yeah. It was one of those, for a while they had all those shirts that said Frankie say yeah.
Yeah.
Or Frankie say relax. I don't know what that says. Frankie will give you the action. I wouldn't mind one of those t-shirts. I imagine you could probably find a new one that just says Frankie say relax.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to love them, and I had no idea this guy had such a prolific career. That's amazing.
He really did, and I think the band got their name, the Buggles, because of the glasses that Trevor Horn wears, those circular glasses that are kind of his trademark. These round glasses, and they gave him bug eyes, and so they kind of called themselves the Buggles.
That's where that came from? I didn't know that.
So yeah.
Look at those, chat. Look at those round glasses. Oh my gosh.
And by the way, that song, Video Killed the Radio Star, that first song from MTV.
Yeah.
Sort of a cover. It was co-written by Bruce Woolley and Trevor Horn. The two of them wrote it. Bruce Woolley had his own band, Bruce Woolley and the Camera Club, and then Trevor Horn formed the Buggles. And Bruce Woolley got his version out first, making the Buggles version the cover, even though it was co-written by those two.
Ah, weird. That's an interesting thing. I guess that happens in music all the time, right?
Happens in music all the time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah, Superstition by Stevie Wonder was intended to be written for, Stevie Wonder wrote it, but was intended to give it to Jeff Beck, who plays guitar, or did his own version of it. But, Stevie Wonder said, hey, got a great song for you, Superstition, gave it to him. And then Stevie recorded his own version, but was holding on to it. And Jeff Beck was about to release his version, and Stevie Wonder's label beat them to market and got Stevie Wonder's version out first.
Wow.
So even though it was intended to be Jeff Beck was supposed to release it first, they beat it.
That was a big hit for him too. It
was huge for
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And Jeff Beck's version is still great. It's awesome, but
Jeff Beck makes no crap.
Yeah, he makes no crap.
Let's get to this story here. We got a fight that broke out between two women in a gynecology waiting room.
Oh no!
Yeah, real trouble here. I got this from a police blogger.
No, you're next.
I think this is Athens, Georgia. Yeah. It's Athens, Georgia. So, Amy, careful out there. The home of
Home
REM.
of REM.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Michael Stipe out there, putting himself in the corner or whatever.
And poor Michael Stipe in the gynecology room, that's him in the corner.
Yeah, that's him doing his superstition.
That's me in the corner. That's me with the girl. Fight.
Gynecology or something. Well, anyway, on July 2nd, Deputy Devin Blair and 3 other deputies, thinking of another song, responded about 3:30 p.m. to a fight between 2 women in the advanced gynecology office of the Oconee Connector. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Right. 33-year-old Royston woman, reportedly she was in the waiting room with her 3 children, when a 51-year-old commerce woman, that's a place, not a thing she's into.
She's into money, but she lives in commerce.
Yeah. She was sitting nearby, tapping her fingers loudly on a chair. This upset one of the children. Oh, boy.
Oh, get over it, Sean.
The Royston woman.
I say right after my whole diatribe about eating food when I'm listening.
Yeah, now if this person
eating food,
if this 15-year-old lady was had a mouthful of mac and cheese, there's a whole different animal.
That would have been starting something. Yep.
The Royston woman became annoyed and commented that someone is going to cuss you out. She said to the other lady. The commerce woman responded by challenging the woman to step outside. You want to go outside? She says. As they entered the exit door, the commerce woman turned and punched the Royston woman in the face.
Wow! Total cold cock.
Oh my gosh, the coldest of cocks.
Right in the gynecology waiting room.
Yeah.
Where you're never expected to see a cold cock.
No, you're. Oh my gosh, why did that remind me of? What's the movie where Q's in it? And he's the doctor, and he's a perv. A hand that rocks the cradle.
Hand that rocks the cradle, yeah.
Whenever someone brings up a dirty doctor, I think of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Really stuck with me. And I think it stuck with me for 2 reasons. One, it was really effective. He was very good in it. But 2, it's Q, and I'm watching Star Trek around the same time, and I'm like, this is effed up, man, that he's doing this. So it really stayed with me. It never left. Anyway, the woman then grabbed her assailant by the throat and shirt. You got to get both. You got to get that throat and shirt.
And throat and shirt.
Yep. Causing the Royston woman to push her back into the waiting room. Facility employees separated the women. The commerce woman. I love that they don't have names. So there's just commerce woman and Royston woman
versus commerce woman tonight.
Yeah. Royston versus commerce. Who's going to win?
The undercard.
She accused the other woman of initiating the fight, but deputies determined she was the aggressor, and this was after interviewing employees and others in the waiting room. She was taken to jail on a battery charge. Then she ran out, and they had to charge her again. It's fine. And has been barred from the business, so she can no longer enter the gynecology office and have her vajay inspected there. All right.
They were about to smear each other all over the concrete.
That's right.
So interesting that the commerce woman, the deputies determined that the commerce woman was the aggressor, because I guess she's the one who said, let's step outside, but it was the Royston woman that said, someone is going to cuss you out. And I'm sure at no point did someone say, oh, hey, that's bothering my son. Do you mind not tapping your fingers really loudly on the chair?
Yeah, can we not treat each other a little better out there, folks?
Yeah.
I think they gave it to the commerce woman because she's the one that took the first swing. That probably is what did it.
I guess so, right, because she's the sucker puncher.
Yeah, she kind of sucker punched. And I guess I don't blame them for arresting her, I guess. Sacramento, let's now switch over to the other side of the country. Sacramento warns Target, the store Target, to stop.
It doesn't take checks anymore.
Nope,
Target.
They don't. They sure don't.
Leave your checkbook at home.
I guess I never.
People.
I'm trying to think if I ever wrote a check there. I don't think I did, but I remember hearing that and going, "Oh, well, that's lame. You should take." And I realized, well, this is never going to affect me. Why do I care?
Yeah, no, I can't think of the last. I'm sure I wrote checks to Target. I can't think of the last check I wrote. I can't think of the last check I wrote, let alone last check I wrote to Target. I guess I take that back because I paid John Funk _ Funk for some website work, and because he's in Canada, I couldn't do like a PayPal or Venmo or Zelle or anything, and I actually had to pay by check, and I actually had to mail the check to Canada, and so I think that might have been the last check that I wrote was to underscore funk.
Is that many years ago? Long time
Many
ago?
years, 3 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, is that all? That's interesting.
That's all. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, and that's it. No, you can get PayPal. Like, you can use all those things in Canada. He just doesn't or couldn't or whatever, didn't want to or something.
Something,
like
he's just got his own deal going on.
Yep, which is totally fine. Listen, I respect. I like being paid half in cash, half in ass for my website work. So we all have our ways that we need to get paid.
That's right. Especially in Canada, they got to go lots of ways.
That's right. I didn't have to put it into money that has holes in it and put it in a cardboard box and mail it to him.
I talked to John yesterday. He was very nice. Sent me a little birthday wish and
nice.
Asked him how he's doing. He seems like things are going good up there. So good on him. Although he and Jay Funktastic annoy me because they're both have funk in their name.
Yeah, right.
And I screw them up all the time. Jay, John. I mean, come on.
We need to Brundlefly them into one creature called underscore Funktastic.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah. But I'll do this thing where I'm like, oh, what's his name in Facebook? And I'll go search it. I'm like, is it Funktastic?
Are you searching for funk? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's Jay. That isn't John. It's effed up. You two need to get together and work this out.
Yeah.
For all of us, you need to do it. Let's see here. Oh, here's the reason that they...
Target. Oh, yeah, Target.
Yeah. Sacramento Target. Target, by the way, so there was a real run for me from the late 80s through the mid 2000s where I would do early morning, overnight, or midnight launches for video game stuff. I was into it. So I would go, Software Etc. at 6 a.m. or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Well,
Babbage's, you'd wait at Babbage's.
I 100% would. I 100% would. Software Etc., Babbage's, all those things before they got bought out and became GameStop.
Circuit City, right.
So in the case of Target was the officially last place I ever did it. It was for the Wii in 2006. No cold November night.
Yeah.
Wind, snow, and we slept out there.
Oh my God.
And that's when I went, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this.
Yeah, right.
It was dumb. I'm not doing that.
It's just
again.
like me and seeing The Watchmen at midnight, the midnight showing, first showing of The Watchmen. It's like, what am I doing? I can't stay awake during this damn thing, and certainly not helping this Leonard Cohen song and this really awkward sex scene.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but just something's flipped, and I would have been
Can't do it anymore. Yeah,
36 or something at the time, and I just went. This is for a different generation. Why am I here? I'm not doing this again. Yeah. If it hadn't have snowed, maybe I would have done it. But also, you know what else changed? The internet became a place where I could just now. I could even in 06, but even more so now. It's just like I get it when it comes to the door.
Exactly, and I think the same thing. I don't think theaters even do midnight showing premieres anymore. They just show it. They just start the movie on Thursday for the Friday. Like, oh, the movie comes out on Friday, but really you could watch it on Thursday.
Yeah,
at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think it actually used to hurt my impression of movies. So like, was it 96 when 94, 96, I think. Anyway, whenever Independence Day came out, I saw it on a midnight showing, midnight premiere. And I think part of the reason I didn't like the movie, because I still don't like that movie that much, is because it was so damn late and I was so frickin' tired.
It just rubbed you the wrong way, like having to stay up that late and try and stay awake through a movie at 1 a.m.
Yeah, because if the movie's really good, maybe it can pull me out of that. But because it didn't reach whatever level it needed to, I just had a bad time. It wasn't great.
I'm totally with you.
Let's get to this point of this story, though.
Sure. Oh, yeah, we still haven't even gotten past the first paragraph, have we?
Sacramento warns Target to stop calling police or face public nuisance charges. So they've been calling police for real reasons, but the Sacramento police are like, you know what? Quit doing that, or we're going to slap you with some stuff. We'll get to the meat of this here. The Sacramento City Attorney's Office allegedly warned Target store, or this particular store, that its phone calls to police for rampant theft could result in a public nuisance charge. That not on the people thieving, but Target themselves. This according to a report from the Sacramento Bee.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've heard you talk about the Bee before.
Yep, been to the Bee, and that was a trip where we flew into Sacramento. visited the bee, and then drove across the border where they asked us if we had any fruits or vegetables to declare.
Yeah.
And then went across the border to Reno, to the Reno Gazette. And did we go through Lodi? I want to say we went through Lodi because all I could think about was the Creedence song.
Oh, yeah.
Stuck in Lodi again.
I didn't realize that was the Lodi.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where I thought.
I think that's along the way from Sacramento to
It makes
Reno,
sense. It's a place. Correctly. It's a thing they would sing about, but I just never, in my head, I never put where it would be. Here's what's funny about you talking about fruit inspection when you come back over the border. I'll never forget this. The year is like 84. We're coming back from a family trip to Disneyland, and we're in cars, right? Or a car.
Okay.
My dad's driving. Everybody's in there. On the way back through, you have to, on the way through and on the way back, every trip we've ever taken to California, including recently, you have to declare any fruit you have. And most of the time they confiscate it. They don't want you moving fruit around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I still don't understand why. Is it a disease thing or bugs?
I think. Yeah, okay. I think it's like fruit flies or something like that. They don't want to introduce. I think. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Tom Norm confirms it. Yeah, so it is bugs.
Okay, so it's bugs. Well, anyway, I'll never forget this. This is maybe a time where I realized my mom, given the right circumstances, would lie to authorities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because in the car, she had a small bag of oranges she got from some famous orange grove in California, some place that was supposed to be amazing. I don't remember any of the details, but it was these oranges that were supposed to be the best oranges. And she had a little bag of them, and she hid them under her seat in the car. And she says to all of us as we're pulling up there in the motorhome or whatever, she goes, "Don't say, kids, don't say anything about the fruit. Don't say anything about these oranges." We're like,
this was the this is the extent. This is your mom her dusk till dawn moment, basically.
Yeah, kind of. It was like it felt really clandestine because we're used to her just sort of. She wasn't never. I don't know. I couldn't remember anything prior to this where my mom was fibbing. I'm sure she's fibbed plenty of times, but when you're a kid, you just don't know. So she's like, we get up, we pull up to the thing, says, "Oh, you got any fruit to declare?" or whatever they say, and she goes, No, officer, we're good. We're just heading home back to Salt Lake City. Had a great time, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's like having drugs. We got drugs in the car.
Yeah, right. And you're all and you know, your age, you're probably like, oh my God, this could be the worst thing ever if I accidentally let it slip that we have fruit.
Yeah, I felt like I was under this microscope, and also I felt like that. I feel like that person. You know how I'm bad
Why
at
is your son sweating profusely, ma'am?
Yeah. Can we talk to him separately in a room somewhere? Because something's up. That's why I'm not good at keeping jokes. Like if I'm supposed to play a joke on somebody, I immediately say just kidding after because I can't stand the pressure of it. So I probably sat there going, and I was probably seconds away from just going, "There's oranges under our seat. There's oranges under the seat.
we neither took plums nor left plums.
Throw us in jail. We deserve it." Anyway. I always remember that. Thanks for the memory. Let's see. So anyway, they got to quit doing this. I guess they call all the time because they have a lot of theft there at this location. So.
I guess so. Wow.
They don't want them to do it anymore.
They just keep calling the police. You'd think, that seems like what you're supposed to do, right? You have your, what is the asset recovery team? The asset, I think they call it, like at big box stores like that. I know Walmart had that when Tristan worked there.
Costco definitely does.
Yeah. And there's only so much that your local asset recovery company can do.
Right. They only have so much reach. Like at some point, it is you're dealing with criminal mischief or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And a guy coming in and grabbing a box of donuts, whatever it is, and walking out with them. I mean, it's theft. So if the local, I'm kind of with Target on this. I don't really side with big box stores or whatever, but.
Right.
It's crime, and you're the local crime enforcement. So come and enforce
this
some of
the. This is your job.
Yeah.
So asset protection or loss prevention. Yep, that's it. Asset protection is the term I'd heard. AP. Get the AP guy up here. We got a shoplifter.
Yeah. Get him out here, please.
Yeah. It's Brian. He's stuck another Montgomery Ward sticker on a keyboard, on a giant Casio keyboard, and he's walking out of the store again.
Dirty bastard. We've seen him here before. All right, finally, this is interesting. Credit score decline can be an early warning for dementia, according to a new study.
Ooh.
This could be an interesting Bobby thing if he hears this and decides to expand, but weird, right?
Yeah.
So credit scores are used to gauge a person's ability to fulfill their financial commitments, obviously. There can be an early warning sign, according to this new study, of cognitive decline. This is research done by the New York Federal Reserve and Georgetown University, a little joint project with them. A person's credit score on average starts to weaken in the 5 years ahead of dementia diagnosis, they find, while mortgage delinquencies start increasing 3 years prior. Researchers found an analysis of nationally representative samples of credit reports and Medicare data on more than 2.4 million people spanning from 2000 to 2017. That's a big sample size.
That is a big sample size.
You don't usually get that. While not everyone in the early stage of Alzheimer's disease and related disorders will fall behind on bills, for those that do, the scale of change in delinquency is substantial. 1 year before diagnosis, average credit card balances in delinquency increase more than 50%, and the average mortgage balance in delinquency are 11% higher, according to the research. That's 600,000 delinquencies on some debt will occur over the next 10 years as a consequence of yet-to-be diagnosed ADRD, they estimate. So I'm going to keep an eye on this because here's the deal. Kim and I have perfect credit.
Yeah.
Like, it's as high as it can go. I don't know how you go higher. We've never defaulted on anything. We've never missed a payment on anything. Just like
amazing. Yeah, that's
perfect, awesome. Perfect credit. And even though early in our marriage we got a little bit of debt, but we always were like on it. We were on top of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you start to see my credit score go down, everybody.
I don't think we can see your credit score go down.
That's
or
true.
Up or anything.
That's true. It's a very private thing, isn't it? Nobody sees it.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Like, credit score is, that's the headline, but really it's like missed payments on public service, or it's anything like that. They focus in on the headline as kind of a sensationalized credit score decline, but it's really, this person hasn't paid their mortgage in 7 months, and they're elderly. Maybe we need to check them for dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But credit score is a much more, like, Experian all of a sudden can say, I think we might have some Alzheimer's going on with these 11,000 people. So please check on dual welfare.
It's even worse.
Welfare check. Yeah.
Now we got to rely. Now we have to deal with insurance companies. Everybody else are going to have a new metric to undercover us with.
Exactly. Listen, just show up, have them draw a clock, and
you're good to go.
And then say, okay, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that a thing? You draw a clock?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that.
So, like, if I were to say, all right, draw 10:15.
Okay. I'm going to do that real quick.
Do that real quick and then hold it up to the camera.
All right. So here we go. I'll do a circle. Oops. Shit.
That's a good start. Absolutely.
Let me start over. My page ripped.
Yeah. Okay. Don't draw a digital clock. Just write 10:15.
10:15 with a colon. That's funny, dude. All right. So that's there, and then 15 there. So it'd be this. Whoops, why did my thing go away? Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, that's very good. Excellent. You've drawn 10:15, or you've drawn
my minute. I was gonna say my minute timer's longer. I didn't mean for that to be longer, but
right. All right, everybody, check him.
Early signs.
Yeah.
Early signs.
That's the thing. So, like, next time you're out at dinner with John, maybe say,
you know what?
Thinking about getting a clock. Could you draw a clock, and I'll just kind of.
I've already tested it for his hearing the other night. I was like, "Hey, John, do you still have that second house that you rent?" And he goes, "What? What?" And I said, and I'm right next to him. The second house you rent? What?
Yeah. Oh,
what?
Wow.
He's starting not to hear. I mean, he's 94. It's what you get.
Oh, interesting. Claire says the numbers are key. I guess I didn't realize that. That's probably true, right? You need to have the 12 numbers in there to.
Oh, you're supposed to draw the whole detailed clock? Yeah. I could do that. This is more like one of those swatches with like no discernible numbers on it.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like it's one of my favorite Apple Watch faces is just the two hands.
Just the blank thing,
That's right. Exactly.
The other thing I was going to say was, by the way, having a great credit score means nothing when you're a small business owner. They still they don't care. Like I'll try to get
separate the business from the individual.
Exactly.
Even if you're a a one a disregarded entity. I hate that term, but we both are, right? Like our businesses, we're a disregarded entity, which means we're a one-person business, and our EIN is our SSN, basically.
Yeah. And the worst part about it is if you have you're trying to get a new house loan or something, or refi on your own house.
Yeah.
The scrutiny is so much heavier. It's so bad.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
The financial system in this maybe world, but certainly this country, is the only one I can speak to, is very much like, oh, he works at a place that pays him every 2 weeks. That is a FICA backed this, and they'd love that. If you're a sole proprietor, they want to pee on your grave.
Exactly.
Pisses me off. Where would this world be without those? I mean, Steve Jobs and Wozniak, what were they doing? They were sole proprietors in somebody's garage. Now they got the biggest market cap in the world.
Yep.
Although that moved around a little. We had, for a hot minute there, Microsoft beat everybody about a month ago, and then NVIDIA was beating everybody for a few days.
Really? NVIDIA was?
Yeah. NVIDIA's doing all their whole thing now is AI chips, and they're making bank. Yeah. Huge money on the AI space. And then they slipped back down. Apple's back in Happy Town. At that point, we're talking trillions, and who gives a shit?
Right, exactly. It's all money that is intangible and can't be held in your hand kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
I refuse to get up in arms about it because there's zero I can do about a thing like that.
Course.
Like, what am I going to do? All right, that'll do it for today's news and today's show. I told you to be short, and it was. All right, it was an hour long, but we enjoyed our hour together, and I'd like to remind people there's more going on this weekend. Even with me out of town, there's a few things happening. For example, that Wastelanders print thing still up for sale at frogpants.shop. So click it, go, check it out. If you go to frogpants.com, there's also a link to the new store. Head in there and check out the Wastelanders Fallout-inspired art collection that I created. It is available now for a very low price and no shipping, especially if you live in the States. Entirely if you live in the States. We got to charge you across the country or the world because stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can get them in 8x8 inch or 5x5, and they are still available, although they are going quick. So if you want yours, you got to get it now. Again, frogpants.shop for more. Coverville today, so maybe 11, but probably noon.
I'm still doing noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll take the 2 hours, and I'll actually do some work and not look at my PlayStation's beckoning, glowing. Come play me,
please. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time avoiding that today. I have so much to do before I leave. Yet that's all I want to do. Crap.
I know. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that's something. Tonight, 5 p.m., you're going to get an episode of Core. Speaking of which, we will be talking about that update, plus much, much more over on the video game podcast called Core. If you haven't listened before, check it out, frogpants.com/core for all the details. There's also a couch party tomorrow at 10 a.m. That'd be me, Brian, and a bunch of patrons showing up in the Discord and watching the second half of Venom, the first Venom, before we go to the second Venom.
And we'll watch the second Venom. I almost feel like it's too late, but we should have watched Deadpool 2 first and second half. But
oh, yeah. Wait,
I can't remember. There might have been nudity in that one. Was there nudity in the second one? There definitely is in the first one. Yeah.
First one had Baccarin boobs.
Baccarins, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And those Baccarin boobs were in that other show, the spy one.
Yes, right.
What was that?
Homeland.
What was that called? Homeland.
Homeland?
I think you might be right. Was it Homeland?
It was the one with Claire Danes and...
Claire. Speaking of Claire, in our chats, here's just something I'd like the world to hear. Tits isn't nudity, fight me! That's an amazing phrase.
It is. It's great. And I agree. Why not?
Also, isn't it aren't? They aren't nudity because you're talking multiples.
Yeah, it's a plural. Yes.
Yeah. I love the way that rolls off the tongue.
You could say, tit isn't nudity, fight me.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I guess tits, whatever. Tits. Never mind. I got to download.
It is Homeland, yeah.
I got to download Deadpool 2 because I haven't seen it yet, and I got to watch it while I'm gone.
Yeah, I got to watch it before the next one comes out. By the way, before Couch Party, there will be a Guest the Connection.
Right,
9
a.m.
Twitch.tv, also at Coverville on Twitch.tv. Got a prize to give away and got a new challenge for folks.
That's awesome.
It's a tough. I gave a real tough one last week, so I don't think I've gotten a correct answer yet. So so you still got time. Got to figure it out.
All right, awesome. Check that out tomorrow, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. for the couch party, 1:30 p.m. for Play Retro with me and Brian Dunaway, and then Film Sack this weekend. We're doing a roundtable all about direct-to-video movies and which ones are maybe better than we think, and also a few surprises like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was this huge
There's so
hit.
many.
Yeah, it's crazy.
These movies that I didn't realize were. It's amazing how many movies that came up that was like, oh, I had no idea that was actually a direct-to-video.
Yeah, and it's a sea of crap with a few really positive things, and also a medium that's kind of dead now. They don't do it anymore. Streaming and
direct-to-video is usually streaming, and it's usually really good.
Yeah, it's almost always that way. So anyway, we go into it. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. That's filmsack.com for details. That is everything else the world needed to know, except frogpants.com/TMS for anything to do with this show. Brian, that's going to do it. We need music. What do you got?
I've got a song that was posted on July 7th, and I'm just realizing I think it's... Oh, here we go. I guess he just wants it early. Tyler Rowland wrote in and said, July 25th would have been my mother's 61st birthday, but sadly she passed away in February of 2023 from stomach cancer. My wife and I performed a cover of Jimmy Eat World's Hear You Me at her funeral services together. If you can't find a suitable cover of that, I'm sorry. The song she picked for her service was Spirit in the Sky. My mom was a big lover of music and always encouraged and supported me in my playing guitar and music, and I miss seeing her comments and love on my videos. She is dearly missed by everyone. Signed, Tyler. So sorry for your loss, Tyler.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
Sad.
Stomach cancer is what my grandma had, and that was really rough.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah.
So Spirit in the Sky, great. I think so many people. I think I know a person also and close to me that wants that played at their service as well. Norman Greenbaum did the original version. Both Scott and I are partial to this one. I believe Scott and I are both partial to this one. This is one that came out in the 80s and is by a group called Doctor and the Medics.
I do like this one a lot.
You haven't heard this one in a long time.
Yeah.
The version I have came out on an album in 1999 called These People Are Nuts. Had a bunch of great songs on there, including this cover. Here's Doctor and the Medics, Spirit in the Sky.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
BFG.
Yeah, BFG.
BFG, my favorite sci-fi television. Oh,